Hello guys and welcome back. So we're going to learn about function pointers now. So function pointers are like normal pointers apart from we point to functions instead of variables, right? So let's first create a function called myfunc that takes no arguments. So put a void in the arguments there. And I want you to do printf hello world. Okay. Now as you know, you can call that like this and it will work just fine. But we don't want to call it like that. We want to call it through a pointer because the function pointers allow you to point to functions and then call that function through the pointer. Pretty handy feature, right? So to do this, go void brackets asterisk ptr for pointer and then do two brackets again. And then we're going to point that to myfunc, the address of myfunc. So let's explain this a little bit then. So we create a pointer to a function, and this pointer expects us to point to functions that return type void. So functions that return void. It also expects us to point to functions that take no arguments. In our case, we just put void here for no arguments, right? And this should be pretty self-explanatory now. PTR is the pointer name. So that is how you do function pointers. So if we do something like PTR now, like that, PTR, and we do that, we basically call our function through the pointer. So when we do PTR, it says, okay, what is the PTR function pointer pointing to? Oh, it's pointing to the address of myfunc. So then let's run the function at the address of myfunc. And it'll literally run the myfunc function because ampersand myfunc gets the address of the function where it is in memory, and then ptr contains the address, the memory address of the function. And then when we do ptr and we go to call it like this, it goes and finds the address in the ptr variable, because remember pointer variables contain addresses, and then it goes and says, okay, we have the address, let's run that. And it'll run at the address that is stored in this ptr variable, which in our case is myfunc. So let's just compile that a minute and run that. 1 second. And you'll see hello world. So that is basically function pointers for you. So just to demonstrate, let's make another function called testfunc that also takes a void. Print k test function. Okay, nice. So now if we change this here to testfunc and then we compile that again, it says undeclared. Why? Oh, because I accidentally did a capital. So C is case sensitive, guys. So we run that now, and print k should be printf, and then we run that now, and then we do main, and it says test function. So essentially what's happened is our pointer now points to test function, and then when we call pointer like this, it runs test function. So you can see how this is put together, right? So the function pointer takes a return type, it has a variable name, and it has function arguments. That's how it works. So if we was to create another function, let's call it mySum. You know we did the mySum before, let's do that again. And we go return a plus b. And let's create a new pointer for that. So how does it work? Well, you do integer brackets asterisk ptr is the function name, by the way, and you go init equals and mySum. So that is how you make a function pointer to this function. So you should be able to see the resemblance of what's going on here, right? In this case, our function pointer expects a return type of integer, and it expects two arguments that are both integer. So you notice we don't provide variable names here because we don't have to, right? And now if I do ptr 5025, just to show you they're different, and I go integer result equals ptr 5025, I can then do printf I result, and if we compile that now, you see 75. So can you guys understand how that is working? So once more then, just in case, we create a function pointer that expects a return type of integer. It has a variable name of ptr. So this could be anything. This could be ABC, right? And then you'd have to call it like that, right? And then it takes two arguments, integer and integer. So this is basically saying we want our function pointer to look like this. So any function we point to has to look like this. It has to return integer and it has to take two integers. And obviously the ampersand here gets the address in memory of the MySum function. So this will return some sort of number, and this number is the memory address. And then when we call ABC, it'll go in, it'll look at our memory address, and it'll start executing at that memory address, essentially running the MySum function. So that is how function pointers work. Hope that sums that up.